Hi, in this video we're going to talk about how to do a free criminal background check in Ohio. To get started, go to ohiopublicrecords.org and you can click on a link in the description. You can also just type this into your browser. Once you're on the home page, you will notice there's quite a few public record databases available to do research in Ohio in terms of background checking. But in this video, we're going to focus on criminal and arrest information, and in particular, free databases you have available within the state. So you want to hover over other records. You'll notice specialized pages here. These are pages that are in more detail. And let's select inmate search. So a typical arrest will begin a criminal record. So these arrests will happen at typically like the city, the county level. So like a police officer or a sheriff's, a deputy will arrest an individual, and they will charge him with a particular crime. And so an arrest happens, and some counties, typically these databases will be controlled by the local sheriff's department. They will actually give you a database of these bookings, so you're able to look up arrests and get information like personal information. Sometimes there will be a mugshot, and then of course the offense, dates, things like that. Now, not every single county is going to provide a database like this. A lot of counties are beginning to. And so in some cases, if you really need that arrest record, you can just request it as a public record from like a local sheriff's or a police department. But they are, more and more of them do have these online portals that you're able to utilize. So this is how it all starts. The next step would be to see a judge. So once the person gets booked, sometimes they get released right away. Sometimes a bail is posted. Sometimes they'll have to sit in jail and wait until they see a judge. So it just depends on the situation. So I'm going to go ahead and hover over other records, click on court records. So once they see a judge, and I just want to mention there is no statewide system, not a centralized system to search court records in Ohio. So it has to be done county by county. And so wherever the arrest happened, let's say it happened in Franklin County, you will have to find a database that's provided by that county, and you can do your research there. So there's sometimes you'll have a couple of different resources within the same county. So like Franklin County has a couple of different places, and then other counties just have the Court of Clerk's office provide a database that people can research. And as you can see, they cover criminal information, criminal traffic. You have, again, here you have criminal records. So most of these, be sure that the database actually covers criminal records. Sometimes they just, for some reason, only provide civil information. But most of these databases I've been looking at here, at least in the populous counties in Ohio, provide both. So these are free databases. I'm just going to type in general last name here, and you can research this information for free. If you got a first name and a last name, middle initial is definitely going to help. It looks like you can also search by case. You can also specifically filter out all the other case types and just select criminal. So if you are just interested in criminal information, you can kind of filter out the rest of the things. But just keep in mind that these are done county. Each county is going to have their own database, and those databases are going to be limited to that specific area. So you might have to check in more than one, especially if they're located right next to each other. So there you go. That's we got the arrest, we got the court record. After the court, there's a sentencing. People get either a guilty or a no guilty verdict, and then they might pay a fine, or they might have to serve some time. If they have to serve time, anything over 12 months, typically they're going to be in the prison, which is the Ohio Department of Rehab and Correction Center. They're the ones that pretty much manage those prison facilities. And then of course under 12 months, typically, like if you get if an individual serves for only a few months, they're going to stay at a local jail and just finish out their sentence there. So let's take a look at the prison records. And again, let's just try a general name here. As you can see, it's you got a mugshot, you got some identifying information, and then of course you have your offense, and then you got your sentencing information. So quite a lot of details here. And again, this database is available to use absolutely free in the state of Ohio. So we just went from arrests to court records to actually serving out the time, whether it's in a prison or in the jail system. And that's what typically criminal records consist of. So every single database I just looked at, I did not have to pay any money for. So if you're willing to do a little homework, spend a little time, you can research all of these databases without putting money into it. Now, if you are interested in a paid database, and if you want to maybe save some money or maybe expand your research a little bit, we do have a name search box on top here. Now, this doesn't just gather criminal information. It looks at court records, public records, real estate information, financial information like bankruptcy records, things like that, arrest information, criminal information, private databases like cell phone numbers, previous addresses, things like that. But it doesn't just pull records from within the state of Ohio. It also goes outside the state. So, for example, why would this be of interest to you? Well, first of all, it saves you a lot of time. All of these databases in all of these other states, it's an instantaneous search. It's a single search system, so it just saves you a ton of time. And the other reason would be if, let's say, somebody's living in Ohio, but they previously had a criminal record in North Dakota or, say, Oklahoma, for example. If you're just researching at the county level or the state level in Ohio, you're not necessarily going to see those other records in those previous states. So if you want to make sure you're more informed when you're doing your research, this could be a great additional tool when it comes to criminal background checking. So with that said, visit ohiopublicrecords.org and come on down and get started on your free criminal background check in the state of Ohio. Thank you.